The manual that I have written is How to Make a Banana Cake. The manual is simple and straightforward. It assists the user through the entire baking process from picking out the ingredients to taking the finished product out of the oven. Most importantly, the manual provides the user with many different variations based upon the original recipe. Today I will discuss with you the writing process for the manual and the proposal that I have prepared for you. First, let's discuss the writing process. I chose to focus the manual on how to make a homemade banana cake because it is a subject that I feel very comfortable with. I've been using this family recipe since I was very young, which makes it easy for me to describe the process with lots of details, and it also allowed me to write it from the point of view of a beginner. My main goal in writing the manual was to make it easily understandable and marketable to a wide audience. I did this by including not only information on the original cake recipe, but also providing a number of variations on the original recipe. This increases the marketability of the manual because it can be used to create more than one specific product by you, the user. I also made sure to include plenty of details and tips throughout the material. I also included checkpoints in the manual to ensure that the user would not miss an important step in the process. Now I will walk you through the proposal that I have prepared for you. As previously stated, the manual was written to provide users with the ability to make a homemade banana cake. The recipe and variations that I have used in the manual are all from a family recipe. This means that the recipe is time tested, guaranteeing that the final product will be successful. As I began to write the manual, I noticed several areas of need that could be filled by my manual. Several of my family members, friends, and myself have various allergies. This makes it very difficult to find recipes that meet our specific needs while still producing a tasty product. The recipe that I use in the manual is easily manipulated to eliminate common allergens without compromising the finished product. There is also a need for a place to find many variations on a basic recipe. Oftentimes, you must look through many different recipes in many different locations, such as recipe books and online, to create variations upon a simple recipe like the banana cake recipe. The manual that I wrote includes many different simple variations on the original cake recipe that allows you, the user, to produce many different products of your choice. The manual is written primarily to guide the user through the entire baking process of the banana cake. It begins with a complete list of materials and equipment, preparation needed before beginning the baking process, detailed instructions on mixing the batter, instructions and tips on the actual baking of the cake, and it ends with a list of variations on the original cake recipe. The great thing about my manual is that the qualification of you, the user, is very minimal. I wrote the manual to include enough information that an inexperienced baker, or even a child, could easily use it. It does not include any technical or complicated terms, but instead discusses the baking process in very simplistic terms. The checkpoints provided also assist novice bakers in making sure that they have not missed any of the important steps in the baking process. This idea of simplicity carries through to the material and equipment used to create the homemade product. All of the ingredients and baking equipment could easily be found at the local grocery store, if not already in your kitchen. The time required to make, prepare, and bake the cake or other baked good is roughly an hour. The first time that you use the manual, it will probably take you a bit longer because you're not used to the process, but with each time that you use it, you will become quicker. For example, when I prepared the cake to photograph for the manual, it took me a little under an hour to mix the batter and bake the cake. This manual can be useful in any kitchen. The manual specifically targets the issues discussed above. The manual includes many variations, including those for muffins and breads on the original banana cake recipe. This eliminates the need for different manuals for each type of banana baked good. The manual also allows you, the user, to eliminate allergens from the original banana cake recipe, or even make the recipe vegan, with only making minimal changes to the original recipe. Making the changes to the original recipe minimal ensures that the product will be exactly the same as the product made when using the original recipe. In fact, when I baked the cake to photograph for the manual, I used the dairy-free version. The cake that I made was exactly the same as a cake that would have contained cow's milk. Because the manuals provide so many variations and can be used by individuals with dietary constraints, it would be very useful and marketable to a very large audience. This manual has many benefits, some that I have already discussed. First, the manual includes variations on the original banana cake recipe. In all, the manual allows the user to produce at least 8 different products, 3 of the variations being specifically for users with dietary constraints. The variations that are specifically discussed in the manual are a dairy-free recipe, an egg-free recipe, a vegan recipe, banana nut muffins, chocolate chip banana muffins, banana nut bread, chocolate chip banana bread, and the original cake recipe. And all of these products can be made either dairy-free, egg-free, or vegan. The manual also encourages users to experiment with their own variations. All of these alternatives to the original recipe allow the user to reference only one manual that includes all of the variations, rather than a number of individual recipes. Second, the manual is written in simple terms and includes details about the entire baking process. This allows the manual to be used by both novice bakers and expert bakers. Third, the manual allows the user to produce a truly homemade product. This is perhaps the most beneficial aspect of the manual. It allows even the most inexperienced of bakers to make a cake, muffins, or bread 100% from scratch. This makes the manual especially appealing to many potential users that do not wish to use pre-made ingredients when baking. In conclusion, the need for a manual that produces a variety of baked goods with a common theme has been made apparent. The manual that I have written will provide the user with the option to produce several different products by making simple variations upon a basic recipe, while providing detailed instructions to make each product successful.